what creates or attracts high-ticket sales objections? When you've shared your messaging with your people and they know that you recognize them, they know that you see them, that you've heard them, that you value them, and you hold in space for them. And you know they're driving from DC to New York for those 4 or 5 hours, and they're listening to your message on a podcast, they're listening to it on a YouTube video, they're listening to your Facebook Live, they're watching something on social media, and they think to themselves, oh my God, how does she know me so well? Where's she been all my life? And then they've been pre-qualified, because the people that want what you have will show up and apply to work with you or DM you or email you. So how do you create the objections that get in the way of the client having what God says is for her? If you watched the last video, you know the first level of trust and what that means for your business. When the client trusts that you know her, you've seen her, you understand her, and you're here for her, and you're part of her winning team. The second level of trust is one that many women coaches that I work with have never even considered or thought about, because no one is really talking about this on social media. It's not sexy enough. And it requires the work, the one that we don't want to do, and that is self-trust. The number one reason why there's any high-ticket sales objection is a self-trust issue for the coach. You attract the objections that come, whether it's maybe, I don't have the money, I can't afford it, call me after the holidays, whatever the objection is, you attract it. So what does self-trust mean? You, me, all of us, there are times in our lives where we've made promises to ourselves and to others, and we've broken those promises, where we haven't been our word in our own lives, to our clients, to our families, our spouses, our kids, whomever, where we've lied. And every time we don't keep our own word, every time we're not in integrity with who God says we are, and every time we break a promise, we lose part of our integrity. It chips away at our nervous system and creates a gap. And only God can fill that hole. But it creates a gap, a hole. And the thing that we don't really think about is that you, me, our clients, the whole world, you are the only one, I am the only one that knows every lie I've ever told. You're the only one that knows all of the lies you've told. The people that you've told lies to, they know the 1 or 2 lies you've said, but you're the one that knows all of them. You're the only one that knows every promise that you've broken. I'm the only one that knows every promise I've broken. I'm the only one that knows how many times I've never kept my word in the last 49 or 50 years. I'm the only one that knows that. And it grinds on your soul, because every time we don't keep our word, or we're out of integrity with who God says we are, we lose trust in ourselves. We create a trust gap in our lives. And then we fill that gap with the words guilt, shame, judgment, and condemnation. So when you are selling a high-ticket coaching offer that requires your highest level of service, value, and integrity, your highest level of commitment to yourself, to God, and your client, and you're filled with guilt, and you're 90% full of guilt, shame, condemnation, judgment, what happens when you create a valuable offer and put a price on it that's based on lifetime future value, and your judgment and condemnation say, who the hell do you think you are? You can't even X. You don't even make your bed every day. How can you help her do that? You didn't even do Y. How can you help her do Z? And we downplay this, but it shows up in every sales conversation that I've ever listened to. It shows up in every message that I've ever read, every sales copy that I've read. I can point to the specific moment in the messaging, in the Facebook Live, where your judgment and condemnation slap you in the face. It's a jolting moment for your soul. Every time you question whether you can do the thing, every time you think I can't, every time you say to yourself, but what if they don't? Every time you judge yourself, it's because there was a time where you lied to yourself, where you didn't keep your word, were out of integrity. And when you do that, the client can see the gap. The client knows, they don't know why it's a maybe, because they came in here based on your messaging. They came in here based on your packaging. But now they feel a certain kind of way and there's just, I don't know. Maybe the way you talk and pause and hesitate. They don't trust that. You can come in with a million testimonials, but if you lack self-trust, the testimonial is not going to sell for you. It won't. See, I prefer self-trust over one testimonial. Because when you show up confidently with that self-trust, the client sees a confidence that they want to buy into, that they wish they had for themselves. You can articulate the value clearly in your messaging without having to prove your worth or prove why the investment to work with you is $100,000. They don't even ask if you have a certification. They don't even ask if you're trained. They automatically assume you can do the thing simply because you showed up with self-trust. But when there's no self-trust, it creates objections because there's something that's icky. There's something that's lacking. There's something that protects them from you. That's all a high-ticket sales objection is. It's protection from you. So how can you create self-trust? Where in your life are you going to start living up to your own word, your promises, being in integrity with who God says that you are? Every tiny little thing you do shows up when you're trying to up-level in your business and in your life. So you get to choose whether you want to overcome objections or not. You get to choose whether you want to prevent objections. It's a worthiness thing. That's up to you. It's a decision that you get to make to be your word. In the next video, we're going to talk about the thing that supports clients to say yes without making you make them buy. Without making them buy or making them say yes. Without the sneeze. Let me know how this one lands for you.